The Terran and the Nathian stared at each other across the table. "We refuse the Terran proposal," the 10-foot-tall Xeno stated with quivering tentacles. "It is intolerable. But see here," the leader of the Terran said, "if good men sit down and talk, acceptable solutions may be intolerable and inexcusable. This is not time for monkeys' chatter. This is time for war, for extermination. Let me have a quick word with my colleagues," the human said, stepping away from the table. "It'll only be a minute or so." The Terran delegation discussed briefly before the leaders stepped up to the table again, fangs showing. "So you're quite sure that you wanted to declare war on Terra or possibly Terran?" "Yes," the spokesbeing of the Nathian delegation hissed. "Your hot-blooded species is an affront to the goddess and must be ixter." Sure. The Terran interrupted as two other Terrans brought their man-up digits together above their heads. "And just to be clear, you also reject the idea of adhering to the Geneva Convention as amended for interspecies warfare for this war? The mere idea of rules and wars is human madness and an affront to the goddess." "Yes, just checking," one of the other Terrans said, handing the leader a data pad. "All right, so the war is definitely on, and it's going to be a total war, no rules?" One of the human's digits hovered over a big red button on the data pad. "We're going to exterminate your sorry excuse of babbling sentience." "Great," the human exclaimed as he pushed the button. "I tell you, the Boffins have been itching for this chance for years now. They're still working on the exact details, but in about 5 minutes we'll attack 1/3 of your planets with some interesting pathogens we've developed to infect non-Aran life forms. Another third with a range of fun new chemical weapons, and the last third we're keeping in reserve for some other experiments in xenocidal warfare." "What in 7 nanocycles? How can you order that so fast? Pathogens, chemicals, xenocidal, what? You don't have instant communication over interstellar distances?" "We worked out the trick of that a long time ago. It is an interesting side effect of a project to link the cores of several stars to make a region-wide nova bomb." "Nova bombs? What madness is this?" "Oh, we're unlikely to use that one right off the bat. We need the data from the weapon tests first." "Your species is insane." "Sure we are, buddy." "Oh, and if you want to surrender unconditionally, we can still call off the Boffin's fun field tests. You've got 4 minutes left." The Nathians looked at each other, tentacles stiff, as the Terran smiled brightly at them. "Surrender? On what conditions?" "Unconditionally. That means you give up. We give no guarantees, reassurances, or promises. This is not how things are done. This is an affront to the goddess. It is how things are done now. No rules in war, remember?" "Oh, and it's 3 minutes left, by the way. But how can we be assured that you will not go ahead with this monkey business if there are no reassurances?" "You can't. But you can hope we feel merciful, which I assume is an affront to the goddess. Most things we do seem to be." 2.5 minutes. The Xenos seemed to shrink and shrivel. "We will surrender unconditionally." The Nathian spokesbeing looked towards the rest of his group before replying unreservedly, but with some hope. "Great," the human said, holding out the data pad. "I'm going to need your signature here, and from the rest of you guys too, if you don't mind." One by one, the Nathians signed and were escorted out, heads so low their tentacles dragged on the floor. As the last one left, the head of the Terran delegation turned to the others. "High five, gentlemen. They bought it. Nova bombs and instant interstellar communications," said the one who had given him the data pad. "Why are Xenos so gullible?" "I guess the head of the delegation said as he grinned that if they believe we'll break the laws of war, they'll believe anything." The Terran delegation watched the retreating figures of the Nathians with satisfaction. "Unbelievable," one of the delegates said, shaking his head. "They folded so easily." "It's all about psychology," the leader replied, his grin widening. "They feared our unpredictability more than our actual capabilities." "What now?" asked another Terran, leaning back in his chair. "We can't just leave it like this. We proceed with Phase 2, the leader said, tapping the data pad thoughtfully. "We need to consolidate our position and ensure they don't think about retaliating." One of the aides stepped forward. "Sir, our analysts suggest we send a follow-up message. Something to reinforce their belief in our threats." The leader nodded. "Good idea. Draft a communication outlining the terms of their surrender and the peacekeeping forces we'll be sending to assist in their transition." Back in their quarters, the Terran communications team worked quickly. To the Nathian leadership, the message began. "In light of your unconditional surrender, The Terran Federation will be deploying peacekeeping forces to ensure a smooth transition and to oversee the dismantling of your military capabilities. The message went on, detailing the supposed humanitarian aid and the monitoring of their compliance with the new terms. It's all about keeping them on edge, one of the team members commented as they finalized the transmission. On the Nathian homeworld, the leadership received the message with a mix of relief and dread. They're actually going through with it, one of the advisors whispered. Peacekeeping forces, the spokesbeing said, shaking its head. This is not peace. This is occupation. But we have no choice, another retorted. We cannot risk invoking their wrath again. We must comply. The Terran peacekeeping forces arrived swiftly. Their presence was overwhelming, a constant reminder of the threat the Nathians believed they faced. Keep the charade going, the Terran leader instructed his troops. We need to make them believe they are constantly under scrutiny. Daily life for the Nathians became a blend of fear and forced cooperation. Terran soldiers were everywhere, overseeing disarmament and the dismantling of defense systems. Despite the overwhelming presence of the Terrans, pockets of resistance began to form. We can't let this stand, a young Nathian said to a small group of comrades. We have to fight back somehow. But how? Another asked. Their technology is far beyond ours. We'll find a way, the young Nathian replied, determination hardening in its eyes. We must. Meanwhile, the Terran leader watched reports of the resistance movements with mild interest. They're trying to fight back, one of his aides reported. Good, he replied. A little resistance will keep the troops sharp. Just make sure they never get too close to discovering the truth. What about the Nova Bomb project? Still on hold, the leader said, shaking his head. We don't need it now. This psychological warfare is proving far more effective. Months passed, and the Nathians slowly adapted to their new reality. The resistance struggled but managed to survive, always looking for a weakness in the Terran occupation. The Terran leader continued to play his game of psychological dominance, ensuring the Nathians remained subdued. Fear is a powerful weapon, he mused one evening, watching the sunset from his command post. And as long as they fear us, we have already won. As the stars began to appear in the night sky, he couldn't help but smile. The galaxy was a dangerous place, but for now, the Terrans had the upper hand, and that was all that mattered. In the heart of the Nathian resistance, the young leader, named Kar, gathered intel about the Terran occupation. We've intercepted some of their communications, Kar said, spreading out the translated documents on the table. They might not be as invincible as they appear. The others leaned in, eyes wide with curiosity and hope. What did you find? Discrepancies. Their technological advances are inconsistent. If they really had such capabilities, why maintain such a heavy physical presence here? Kar's findings spread through the resistance. Doubt began to creep into the minds of the Nathians. What if they're bluffing? One of the senior members, Ilna, speculated during a secret meeting. What if they don't have the power they claim? But how do we test that without risking annihilation? Another asked. Kar spoke up. We need to provoke a response, something calculated but revealing. If they react too quickly or too slowly, it could give us the clue we need. The resistance planned a precise attack on a minor Terran outpost, ensuring minimal risk to civilians. We strike tonight, Kar declared, and we watch their response closely. The night of the attack, a small team infiltrated the outpost, planting explosives and sabotaging communication lines. As the explosions rocked the area, the Terran forces scrambled. The Terran's reaction was swift, but not instantaneous. Their response time is slower than expected, Kar noted, watching through binoculars. They're not as omnipotent as they want us to believe. We need to push harder, Ilna suggested. A larger target, but still within our reach. The resistance targeted a key Terran supply depot next. The plan was riskier, but the potential information gain was invaluable. We need to see how they handle a more significant threat, Kar said. The attack was executed flawlessly. The Terran's delayed and disorganized response confirmed the Resistance's suspicions. They're vulnerable, Kar whispered, a fierce determination in his eyes. Emboldened by their success, the Resistance launched a series of strategic strikes. Each one revealed more about the Terran's limitations. We have to keep up the pressure, Kar urged. We need to expose their bluff to everyone. The Nathian populace began to regain hope, inspired by the Resistance's victories. If we unite, Ilna declared, we can drive them out. The Terran leader, now aware of the growing resistance, met with his top advisors. "They're becoming bolder," one of the advisors said. "We need to reassess our strategy. We can't afford a prolonged conflict," the leader admitted. "Our resources are stretched thin. If they discover our true strength or lack thereof, we're finished. Should we call for reinforcements?" another advisor suggested. "No," the leader replied, shaking his head. "That would only confirm their suspicions. We need to find a way to regain control, quickly." Kar and Ilna devised a bold plan to force the Terrans into a desperate move. "We target their command center," Kar proposed. "Cut off the head, and the body will fall." The resistance mobilized, gathering all their forces for the decisive strike. "This is our moment," Ilna rallied. "We fight not just for ourselves, but for our future generations." The attack on the command center was swift and brutal. The Terrans, caught off guard, struggled to defend their stronghold. Explosions and gunfire echoed through the night. The Nathians pushed forward. The Terran leader, cornered in his command post, realized the end was near. "We underestimated them," he admitted, a note of despair in his voice. "We relied too much on fear." As the Nathians breached the final defenses, the leader sent a last-ditch message to his superiors. "We've lost control. Initiate evacuation protocols." With the command center in Nathian hands, the Terran forces began to withdraw. "They're retreating," Kar shouted, elation spreading through the ranks. Cheers erupted as the Nathians watched their oppressors flee. "We did it," Ilna said, tears of relief in her eyes. "We're free." The victory was hard-won, but the Nathians knew their struggle wasn't over. "We need to rebuild," Kar said, standing before the gathered crowd. "We need to ensure this never happens again." The Terrans, now exposed, faced repercussions from the galactic community. "Their bluff has been called," Ilna remarked. "They won't be able to intimidate others so easily now." As the Nathians began to rebuild their world, a sense of unity and determination prevailed. "We've shown that even in the darkest times, hope and resilience can prevail," Kar said during a commemorative speech. The Terran leader, now in exile, pondered their defeat. "We relied on fear and deception," he reflected. "But in the end, it was their courage and unity that won." The Nathians looked to the future with hope, knowing they had the strength to overcome any challenge. And as the first rays of dawn broke over their liberated world, they embraced the promise of a new beginning. With the Terrans gone, the Nathians began the daunting task of rebuilding their cities and infrastructure. "We need to focus on restoring basic services first," Ilna said at a council meeting. "Water, power, and medical care are our top priorities." Kar nodded. "We also need to ensure the safety of our people. There could still be Terran traps and sabotage left behind." Teams were organized to sweep through the cities, disarming any remnants of Terran technology. Slowly, life began to return to normal. In the wake of their victory, other oppressed species across the galaxy took notice. Delegations from various planets began arriving on Nathian soil. "Your resistance has inspired many," one delegate said. "We want to learn from your strategies and build alliances." Kar welcomed the representatives warmly. "Together, we can ensure that no species has to face what we did. United, we are stronger." An interplanetary council was formed, with the goal of fostering cooperation and mutual defense among the allied species. During the cleanup of the Terran Command Center, a team of Nathian scientists stumbled upon a hidden chamber. Inside, they found advanced technology and research notes. "This is incredible," one scientist exclaimed. They were working on interstellar communication and Nova bomb technology. Kar examined the findings. "This technology could be a game changer for us. We need to understand it and ensure it's used for peaceful purposes." The Nathian scientists worked tirelessly to reverse engineer the Terran technology. "We've managed to decode their interstellar communication system," the lead scientist reported. "This could allow us to communicate instantaneously across vast distances." Ilna looked hopeful. "This will strengthen our alliances and enable quicker responses to any future threats." The research also revealed potential applications for energy production and medical advancements, promising a brighter future for the Nathian people. As the Nathians and their allies began to flourish, a new threat emerged on the horizon. Reports came in of a mysterious and aggressive species expanding rapidly. "They call themselves the Vrax," a scout reported. "They are ruthless and technologically advanced. Kaiar called an emergency meeting of the Interplanetary Council. We must prepare. This could be an even greater threat than the Terrans. The Council agreed to mobilize their combined forces and share resources to counter the Vrax threat. The Vrax struck without warning, targeting the outermost planets of the Alliance. Their ships were fast and heavily armed. They're unlike anything we've faced before, a military advisor said grimly. We need to adapt quickly. Kaiar coordinated with the Allied leaders. We'll use the Terran technology we've acquired. It might give us the edge we need. The first battles were fierce, with heavy losses on both sides. But the Nathians and their allies stood firm, refusing to be intimidated. Through sheer determination and innovative tactics, the Allied forces began to turn the tide against the Vrax. We've developed a new strategy, Carr announced. We'll use hit-and-run tactics to disrupt their supply lines and weaken their fleet. The plan worked. The Vrax, overextended and struggling to maintain their momentum, started to lose ground. We're pushing them back, Ilna reported, hope in her voice. The climax of the conflict came at a decisive battle near the planet Xeria. The Allied fleet, now bolstered by Terran technology, faced off against the Vrax armada. This is it, Carr said, standing on the bridge of his flagship. We end this here. The battle raged for hours, with both sides suffering heavy casualties. But the Allies' superior coordination and strategic use of technology gave them the upper hand. As the Vrax flagship was destroyed, the remaining Vrax ships began to retreat. Cheers erupted across the Allied fleet. We've done it, Ilna said, tears of joy streaming down her face. We've won. The Allied planets celebrated their hard-earned victory, knowing that they had secured their future and proven the strength of their unity. In the aftermath of the war, a grand summit was held on Nathian soil. Representatives from the Allied planets gathered to draft a new peace accord. We must ensure lasting peace and cooperation, Kaiar said, addressing the assembly. The accord established guidelines for mutual defense, resource sharing, and technological collaboration. It also set up a council to mediate disputes and prevent future conflicts. Years passed, and the Nathians and their allies flourished. The technological advancements made during the wars propelled them into a new era of prosperity. We've come a long way, Ilna said, standing beside Kaur at a monument dedicated to their fallen heroes. Kaur nodded. We've faced darkness and emerged stronger. Our legacy will be one of resilience and unity. A new generation of Nathians grew up in a world of peace and cooperation. They were taught the history of their people's struggles and triumphs. Remember the sacrifices made, Kaur said to a group of young students, and strive to build a future worthy of their legacy. The children listened with wide eyes, inspired by the tales of courage and determination. Even in times of peace, the Allied planets remained vigilant. We must never become complacent, Ilna warned during a council meeting. The galaxy is vast, and new threats can emerge at any time. The council agreed, maintaining a strong defense force and continuing to innovate and adapt. The alliances formed during the wars evolved into a broader galactic community. Trade flourished, cultural exchanges enriched lives, and a sense of shared destiny united diverse species. We're stronger together, Kair said at a galactic summit. And we must continue to uphold the values that brought us here. As the sun rose over Nathian Prime, casting its golden light on a world at peace, Kair reflected on their journey. From the brink of annihilation to a beacon of hope, he said softly, we have truly achieved something extraordinary. Ilna smiled beside him. And we will continue to strive for a future where all species can live in harmony. And so, under the same stars that had witnessed their darkest days, the Nathians and their allies looked forward to a future filled with promise and endless possibilities. With peace secured, the Nathians turned their attention to exploration and scientific advancement. We've always focused on survival, Kair said at a research symposium. Now it's time to expand our horizons. Scientists and explorers set out on missions to uncharted regions of the galaxy. They sought to understand the mysteries of the universe and discover new worlds. A flagship expedition, led by a renowned Nathian explorer named Lyra, embarked on a journey beyond known space. We're venturing into the unknown, Lyra declared as the ship launched. Who knows what wonders await us? The expedition discovered new planets, ancient civilizations, and phenomena that defied current understanding. Each discovery brought new knowledge and potential allies. On a distant planet, Lyra's team uncovered ruins of an ancient civilization. These beings were incredibly advanced, she reported. Their technology could revolutionize our understanding of energy and matter. The team worked tirelessly to decipher the ancient texts and reverse engineer their technology, bringing invaluable knowledge back to Nathian Prime. The discoveries from Lyra's expedition sparked a scientific renaissance. Innovations in energy, medicine, and space travel transformed society. We're entering a new golden age, a leading scientist proclaimed at a global summit. Educational institutions flourished, and collaboration across planets accelerated progress. The Nathians became known not just for their resilience, but also for their contributions to galactic knowledge. With increased contact between species, cultural exchange programs were established. We have much to learn from each other, Ilna said, overseeing the first interplanetary cultural festival. Art, music, literature, and traditions from different planets enriched the lives of all participants. Bonds of friendship and understanding grew stronger. As Nathians and their allies continued to evolve, a philosophical shift occurred. We've always been focused on survival and defense, KIR reflected in a public address. Now we must consider our place in the universe and our responsibilities to each other. Debates and discussions flourished, leading to new schools of thought that emphasized empathy, cooperation, and the ethical use of technology. To foster these ideals, the Galactic University was founded. This will be a place where the brightest minds from all species can come together, Lyra announced at the inauguration ceremony. A hub of learning, innovation, and unity, the university attracted scholars, scientists, and philosophers from across the galaxy, becoming a beacon of knowledge and collaboration. One of the university's first major projects was the construction of a massive space station. The Unity Station will be a symbol of our cooperation, Ilna declared. A place where we can work together to solve the challenges we all face. The station, equipped with advanced laboratories, research facilities, and living quarters, became a hub for innovation and diplomacy. To manage the growing network of alliances and maintain peace, a dedicated diplomatic corps was established. We need skilled negotiators and ambassadors, KR said, addressing the first class of diplomats. Your role is crucial in keeping our alliances strong and preventing conflicts. The Corps trained in conflict resolution, cultural sensitivity, and interstellar law, ensuring that diplomacy remained the first course of action in any dispute. Recognizing the importance of sustainability, the Nathians launched an ambitious environmental initiative. We must protect and preserve our planets, a leading environmentalist declared. For the sake of future generations, efforts to restore damaged ecosystems, reduce pollution, and promote sustainable practices spread across the allied planets. The initiative also focused on studying and mitigating the impacts of space travel on the environment. Advancements in medical technology, inspired by the ancient civilization's discoveries, led to remarkable breakthroughs. We've developed cures for previously untreatable diseases, a top doctor announced. And our understanding of genetics and biology has taken a quantum leap. These advancements improved quality of life and extended lifespans, creating a healthier and more vibrant society. As technology and prosperity increased, social reforms were implemented to ensure equity and justice. We must ensure that everyone benefits from our advancements, Ilna said, advocating for comprehensive social policies. Education, healthcare, and economic opportunities were made accessible to all, reducing disparities and fostering a sense of shared prosperity. With newfound stability and resources, an artistic renaissance blossomed. Art is the expression of our soul, a celebrated Nathian artist proclaimed at an exhibition. It reflects our journey and aspirations. Artists from all species contributed to a vibrant cultural scene, exploring themes of unity, resilience, and the wonders of the universe. The pace of technological innovation continued to accelerate. We've developed faster-than-light travel, a scientist revealed at a conference. This opens up the entire galaxy for exploration. New inventions and discoveries, from AI-driven cities to renewable energy sources, transformed daily life and expanded the frontiers of knowledge. To better manage the growing interstellar community, the Galactic Council was established. This council will represent all allied species, KR announced. A forum for discussing our collective future. The council worked on policies and initiatives to promote peace, prosperity, and sustainability, ensuring that the galaxy's diverse inhabitants could thrive together. Despite the prevailing peace, the allied planets maintained a robust defense network. We must be prepared for any threat, Ilna emphasized. but our focus will always be on deterrence and diplomacy first. The network included advanced surveillance systems, rapid response fleets, and joint military exercises to ensure readiness and cooperation. Driven by their insatiable curiosity, the Nathians and their allies continued to explore the far reaches of space. There's so much more to discover, Lyra said before embarking on another expedition. New worlds, new life forms, new mysteries. Each mission brought back valuable data and insights, expanding the collective knowledge and inspiring future generations of explorers. As the years passed, the Nathians and their allies looked back on their journey with pride. "We built something extraordinary," KIR said at a commemoration ceremony. "A legacy of unity, resilience, and progress." The galaxy had become a place where diverse species could coexist, learn from each other, and strive toward a common future. The lessons of the past had paved the way for a brighter, more hopeful era. And so, under the watchful stars, the Nathians and their allies continue their journey, ever curious, ever united, ever reaching for the stars. A grand festival was organized to celebrate decades of peace and progress. Delegates and citizens from all allied planets gathered on Nathian Prime. "This festival is a testament to our unity," Ilma said in her opening speech. "Let us celebrate our achievements and the bonds we've forged." The festival featured music, dance, art, and food from all over the galaxy, symbolizing the rich tapestry of cultures that made up the Alliance. To solidify their commitment to cooperation and mutual respect, the Galactic Council drafted the Galactic Charter. "This document will serve as our guiding principles," Carr announced, holding up the signed charter. "It enshrines our values of peace, justice, and equality." The charter included provisions for conflict resolution, resource sharing, and environmental protection, ensuring a stable and prosperous future for all member planets. With advancements in faster-than-light travel, new colonies were established on distant planets. "We are the pioneers of a new era," a colony leader proclaimed as the first settlers arrived on a lush, uninhabited world. "Let's build a future where all species can thrive." These frontier colonies became centers of innovation and exploration, pushing the boundaries of what was possible. To foster greater understanding and cooperation, an extensive exchange program was launched. "We want our children to learn from each other," Ilna said, welcoming the first group of exchange students. To see the galaxy through different eyes, students and professionals from different species lived and worked on each other's planets, creating lifelong friendships and deepening the bonds between their worlds. Recognizing the importance of their shared history, a massive effort was undertaken to preserve historical sites and artifacts. "Our past is the foundation of our future," KIR said at the opening of the Galactic Museum. "We must honor and learn from it." The museum showcased the rich histories of all member species, celebrating their struggles and triumphs. As AI technology advanced, ethical guidelines were established to ensure it was used responsibly. "We must ensure AI serves all of us," a leading AI researcher stated, "and that it respects our values and rights." AI was integrated into many aspects of daily life, from healthcare to transportation, enhancing the quality of life while adhering to strict ethical standards. A new space station, Aurora, was constructed in a strategic location to facilitate trade and diplomacy. "Aurora will be the jewel of the galaxy," Ilna said at the unveiling. "A place where all can come together." The station featured state-of-the-art facilities and served as a hub for commerce, science, and cultural exchange. Despite the peaceful times, the Allied planets remained vigilant. "Freedom must always be defended," KR emphasized at a military ceremony. "We must be prepared for any threat." Regular joint exercises and advanced training programs ensured that the defense forces were always ready to protect their homeworlds. With their external challenges largely managed, many Nathians turned to inner exploration. "Understanding ourselves is just as important as understanding the universe," a philosopher remarked. "We must seek balance and harmony within." Spiritual and philosophical movements flourished, promoting self-discovery, mindfulness, and the pursuit of wisdom. As they looked to the future, the Nathians and their allies knew their journey was far from over. "We've achieved much, but there is still so much more to explore," Lyra said, preparing for another expedition. "The galaxy is infinite, and so are our possibilities." With hope and determination, they continue to reach for the stars, ever curious and ever united in their quest for knowledge and harmony. In an effort to promote reconciliation and healing, a Truth and Reconciliation Commission was established. "We must confront our past to build a better future," Ilna said as the commission began its work. This is our chance to acknowledge the pain and move forward. Survivors of past conflicts share their stories, fostering understanding and empathy. The Commission recommended reparations and initiatives to support affected communities. Recognizing the strength and diversity, the Galactic Council launched initiatives to celebrate and promote inclusion. Every culture, every species adds something unique to our tapestry, KIR said at the Diversity Summit. We must cherish and respect these differences. Programs to support minority communities, preserve endangered languages, and promote cultural exchange were implemented, enriching the galactic society. Environmental sustainability became a priority. We must protect our planets, a leading environmentalist declared. For ourselves and future generations, massive reforestation projects, clean energy initiatives, and conservation programs were launched. Technological advancements were made to reverse ecological damage and promote a harmonious relationship with nature. To celebrate the artistic renaissance, an interstellar art expo was organized. Art reflects our soul, a renowned Nathian artist proclaimed. It tells the story of our journey. Artists from across the galaxy showcase their work, inspiring awe and fostering deeper connections through creative expression. The expo became an annual tradition, celebrating creativity and innovation. Scientific breakthroughs in quantum mechanics open new frontiers. We're on the cusp of a new era, a physicist announced at a scientific conference. Quantum technology will revolutionize our understanding of the universe. Applications ranged from quantum computing to new forms of energy, transforming industries and pushing the boundaries of what was possible. To ensure the next generation upheld the values of unity and cooperation, the Children's Alliance was formed. Our children are our future, Ilma said at the inaugural meeting. We must guide them wisely. The Alliance organized educational programs, cultural exchanges, and leadership training for young people, instilling in them the principles of empathy, respect, and collaboration. Ambitious plans to build space habitats were set in motion. We're creating new homes among the stars, an engineer declared. Expanding our horizons even further, these self-sustaining habitats were designed to support diverse communities, offering new opportunities for living and working in space while preserving planetary ecosystems. Advancements in virtual reality technology transformed communication and entertainment. We can now experience other worlds without leaving home, a tech entrepreneur announced. Bridging distances and connecting minds. The VR network allowed people to explore virtual environments, attend events, and interact with others in immersive settings, fostering deeper connections and understanding. To promote unity and friendly competition, the Galactic Games were established. Sport brings us together, KIR said at the opening ceremony. It transcends boundaries and unites us in the spirit of excellence. Athletes from across the galaxy competed in a wide range of sports, showcasing their skills and celebrating the joy of competition. As they look to the future, the Nathians and their allies remained committed to their shared vision. Our journey continues, Ilma said at a commemorative event. We've come so far, but there is always more to achieve. The legacy of hope, unity, and progress was passed down through generations, ensuring that the ideals that had brought them together would continue to guide them towards a brighter, more harmonious future. To ensure lasting peace, the Galactic Peacekeepers were formed. We need a dedicated force to prevent conflicts and protect our citizens, KIR stated at the founding ceremony. Peace must be actively maintained. The Peacekeepers, composed of representatives from all member species, were trained in diplomacy, conflict resolution, and defense, ready to respond to any threat to the galactic order. A vast interstellar library network was established, allowing the free exchange of knowledge and information. Knowledge is the cornerstone of progress, a librarian declared. We must make it accessible to all. The network included digital archives, virtual reality simulations, and physical repositories, becoming a vital resource for researchers, students, and the curious. To cultivate the next generation of diplomats, the Diplomatic Academy was founded. Effective diplomacy requires skill and understanding, Ilma said at the opening ceremony. We must prepare our future leaders. The Academy offered rigorous training in languages, cultural studies, negotiation, and interstellar law, ensuring that graduates were well-equipped to handle the complexities of galactic relations. A new tradition, the Festival of Lights, was introduced to celebrate unity and hope. Light symbolizes our shared journey, KIR said at the first festival. It guides us through the darkness. During the festival, cities and planets across the galaxy were illuminated with beautiful light displays, and people participated in celebrations that honored their diverse heritages and shared aspirations. As technology continued to advance rapidly, the Technological Ethics Council was formed to address ethical concerns. We must ensure that our innovations benefit all and harm none, a council member stated. The council evaluated new technologies, set guidelines for responsible use, and promoted research on the ethical implications of scientific advancements. To boost economic prosperity and cooperation, an interstellar trade network was developed. Trade fosters mutual benefit and understanding, a trade minister announced. It strengthens our bonds. The network facilitated the exchange of goods, services, and resources, ensuring that all member planets could prosper and support one another. A Galactic Health Organization, GHO, was established to address health challenges across the galaxy. Health is a fundamental right, a GHO director stated. We must ensure everyone has access to quality care. The GHO coordinated medical research, responded to health crises, and promoted wellness programs, significantly improving the quality of life for all species. To continue exploring the cosmos, the Space Research Initiative (SRI) was launched. Our quest for knowledge is never-ending, Lyra said at the initiative's unveiling. There is always more to discover. The SRI funded exploratory missions, developed advanced spacecraft, and encouraged collaboration between scientists from different planets, pushing the boundaries of what was known about the universe. To symbolize their shared identity, a unity anthem was composed. Music unites us in ways words cannot, a composer declared. This anthem will be a tribute to our journey. The anthem, performed at official events and celebrations, became a powerful reminder of the values and aspirations that bound the galactic community together. To preserve and honor their rich histories, the Guardians of History were appointed. Our history is our foundation, Illness said. We must protect it for future generations. The Guardians were responsible for maintaining historical sites, curating archives, and educating the public about their collective past, ensuring that the lessons and legacies of history were never forgotten. Inspired by reports of mysterious regions in space, expeditions were sent to explore the so-called abyss. These areas hold untold mysteries, Lyra said before leading the first mission. We must uncover their secrets. The expeditions faced unknown dangers and incredible discoveries, adding to the collective knowledge and challenging existing scientific paradigms. To address environmental challenges on a galactic scale, the Interplanetary Environmental Council, IEC, was established. Our planets are interconnected, an IEC member stated. We must protect them together. The IEC coordinated conservation efforts, promoted sustainable practices, and worked to mitigate the environmental impact of technological and industrial activities. To promote health, camaraderie, and friendly competition, the Galactic Sports Federation, GSF, was founded. Sports bring us together, a GSF official said. They teach us teamwork and resilience. The GSF organized interplanetary tournaments, supported athletic training programs, and fostered a sense of unity through sport. To provide wisdom and guidance, a council of elders was formed, consisting of respected leaders and thinkers from all member species. Experience is a valuable teacher, KIR said. We must listen to our elders. The council offered advice on policy decisions, mediated disputes, and shared their knowledge, ensuring that the community benefited from their vast experience. A comprehensive initiative aimed at fostering harmony among species was launched. We must celebrate our differences and find common ground, Illness said. Harmony is the key to our future. The initiative included cultural exchange programs, conflict resolution workshops, and community-building projects, promoting a deeper understanding and appreciation of diversity. With peace and prosperity, the arts flourished. Art is the soul of our civilization, a renowned artist declared. It reflects our journey and inspires our future. The Restoration of the Arts program funded artists, supported art education, and promoted cultural events, ensuring that creativity and expression thrived. To empower the younger generation, the Galactic Youth Council, GYC, was established. Our youth are the future, KR said. They must have a voice in shaping it. The GYC provided a platform for young people to share their ideas, participate in decision-making, and lead initiatives that address their concerns and aspirations. A dedicated forum for discussing scientific and technological advancements was created. We must stay at the forefront of innovation, a leading scientist stated, and ensure it benefits all. The forum facilitated collaboration, shared research findings, and addressed the ethical and societal impacts of new technologies, driving progress while maintaining a focus on the greater good. To preserve important cultural and historical sites, the Galactic Heritage Site Program was launched. These sites tell the story of our galaxy, Illness said. We must protect them. The program identified and protected significant locations, ensuring that future generations could learn from and be inspired by their rich heritage. As the galaxy continued to thrive, the Nathians and their allies remained united in their vision. We have built something extraordinary, KIR said at a galaxy-wide celebration. A community of hope, progress, and unity. Under the same stars that had witnessed their darkest days, the Nathians and their allies looked forward to a future filled with endless possibilities, ever united in their quest for knowledge, peace, and harmony.